Lost in Space. Written by Eli Francis. Illustrated by Jomar Renata. Ben Blackhill, an astronaut, had been in space for 5 days when something tragic happened. However, out of the tragedy came a new alliance that changed the world. It all began on January 17th. "Okay, Ben, you go out first and I'll follow you," Jenny said, as they got ready to work on a damaged satellite. "Keep in radio contact all the time." "Will do," Ben replied. The two astronauts suited up. Their spacesuits were a new design. They were hard around the upper body but had flexible sleeves, gloves, pants, and boots, so the astronauts could move around easily. Their helmets had one-way magnifying mirrors to help them see clearly as they worked. The suits also had state-of-the-art air packs and radios. Ben and Jenny were using backpacks called Manned Maneuvering Units, or MMUs, as the astronauts called them. The MMUs were to get them to the satellite. The MMUs had rockets and hand controls to direct the astronauts' flight. "I am ready to fire my rockets now," Ben said, as they both held onto the handles and locked their feet into boot holders to stop them floating away. "See you over there," Jenny said. But that would never happen. Ben unlocked his boot holders, fired up his rockets, and blasted off. But very soon he knew there was a problem. "Jenny," he yelled into the radio. "My hand controls aren't working. I can't control my unit." There was nothing Jenny could do but watch helplessly as Ben blasted into the blackness that was space. "No!" she screamed. With tears in her eyes, she climbed back into the shuttle. Other astronauts who had seen what had happened were in the launch bay. The room was quiet except for the weeping for a friend lost in space. "Let's take him back and analyze him," reconnaissance leader said to the rest of his group. "Load him onto the space buggy and get back to the lab as fast as you can." "Where do you think he is from, leader?" Reconnaissance member 2 asked. "Maybe Earth," reconnaissance leader answered. "He looks like those Earth beings we watch through the warp scope. But this suit is something very different. We will know for sure when we have him in the lab." The group loaded their unusual find onto their space buggy and zoomed across the rocky ground faster than the speed of light. A real live specimen. "I can't believe how lucky we are." Lab Leader 1 shrieked with joy. "Once he wakes up he will be able to answer all our questions about his planet," Lab Member 2 added. "Get that suit off him and let's get it processed." "We need to find out how it works," Lab Leader 1 said. As they started to take the suit off, Ben woke up. "Quick! Help me strap him down," Lab Member 3 said. Ben struggled like a fish caught in a net. All he could remember was not being able to control his MMU. Now, he was strapped down somewhere and he didn't know where. His body started to shake as he looked around and saw 5 large-headed green aliens peering at him. Behind them, Ben could see different kinds of high-tech equipment. The aliens were making sounds, but he couldn't understand them. "Let me go!" Ben shouted. "Quick, get the translator," Lab Leader 1 said. "He is trying to say something." Ben knew it was no use struggling, but he couldn't stop his body from shaking. Soon, another alien came into the room. When this one spoke, Ben could understand him. "We won't hurt you," he said to Ben. "We just want answers." Ben's head was spinning. He tried to speak but he stumbled on his words. "Who are you?" "Where am I?" he finally asked. The new alien looked at the others and began to speak. Ben guessed he was translating what Ben had said, as he could no longer understand what the translator was saying. When the translator finished, the other aliens began to leave the room. "Pill, remove your straps," the translator said. "Please understand that we won't harm you. We are friendly and peaceful." We just want to learn more about other beings in our universe. All we know so far is what we see through our warp scope. At first, Ben thought he might make a run for it as soon as he was unstrapped. But, as his mind began to clear, he realized he wouldn't get far. "Come and sit over here," said the translator in a friendly tone as he pointed to 2 large chairs. "Now, let me begin. I'm Traylon, the translator. You're on Mars. I'm not sure how you got here, but we tracked you through space as you headed for our planet. We sent a reconnaissance team out to bring you in when you landed. We thought you were from Earth. When we got your spacesuit off, we knew we were right," he said. "I'm Ben Blackhill," Ben replied. "And you are right. I am from Earth. I'm an astronaut and right now I'm working on the space shuttle Trace. We were sent to Trace to fix a problem with one of our satellites." As Ben and Traylon talked on, Ben began to understand what had happened and the impact it would make on the world. Not only had he accidentally found life on Mars, but he was also sitting on a chair talking to a Martian as though they had been friends for a lifetime. So, a day that began as a tragedy had turned into a triumph. This triumph could forever change 2 planets as they shared knowledge that had long been guessed at but never proven. Until Ben returned home, that is.